And then lastly, we talk about this idea of shifting a narrative, right? War,
Mm.
transitioning something from the singular to the multifaceted. What does that mean what does that mean for you in the Zimbabwean context? You know, we spoke about, oh, we want Zimbabweans to want to love their country more. Specifically for you, what does that look like, if I can call it that? What does shifting the narrative look like for you? Mm.
That everybody is invested in everyone else doing better.
Mm.
I'll give you two small examples very quickly. Not examples. One is an example. Another one is a point.
Mm.
First example is if you want to see what Zimbabweans are like presently, go to an uncontrolled intersection and just watch. Everyone wants to get home first, but in doing that, you then cause the roadblock.
Mm.
So long as you're not invested in someone else's happiness and saying, "Kuti, no, you know what? Let's everyone have fun." We're not going to change. So if I get a tender for 100 million, let's just say, and
Mm.
my first plan is how am I going to get this whole 100?
Mm.
Not, I would love to have the whole 100, but realistically, if this is actually going to work,
Mm.
Dumi needs 10.
Mm.
Tinay needs 20.
Mm.
Stacy needs 40.
You can balance it
Then
out. Yeah.
I can
Mm.
think chi, whatever, whatever, and you are invested in other people seeing it grow.
Mm.
And then the second thing is a point. And I want to hear what you think about this statement. So long, now I'm speaking to you as a privileged person.
Mm.
So long as your dream or your picture of success in
Mm.
Zimbabwe has a maid and a gardener in it, then
Mm.
that means that your dream still requires someone else to be mediocre.
Mm.
If that is still your dream,
Mm.
I'll start to right. No foot. I'll start to apple. You're
Because
sitting
that.
there with your missus and you're saying, right, so we're gonna have this, 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 then we're gonna have two dames, then we're gonna have yeah. Not a person who has a house cleaning service, not a person who has a gardening business where they have several clients in the Borough area. We're still gonna need those services. But if they are coming from a perspective of someone who doesn't have an education, doesn't have choices, they're going to have to actually become a domestic worker. If your dream still has someone with that profile, you're part of the problem. Part of the
Fully. I
problem.
know people talk, people, there's this Zimbabwean dream, I like to call it, the good old days, as they would say.
Yeah,
Back in the day,
nostalgia.
nostalgia. Good old days for who? Good old days for who? Do you know what I mean? Like good old days for who? Would we say, oh, back then we could do this and for you, yes, right? But you talk about you had two gardeners, you had a and look, this is my life. I'm not talking about like a case
Standard.
of
Standard.
but that is not a life that is based upon the equity of of the full equity of others in your society. And if you're saying that you want to see Zimbabwe go back to what it was, is that a Zimbabwe that is fully inclusive of everyone's empowerment? There's an issue there. I think for me, it's a very challenging question and it's very accurate. And yeah, I think for me, like the Zimbabwean dream should be one that is fully inclusive, not one that is based upon social hierarchy, if you will. But there's a lot of unlearning that I would have to do for sure.
Oh, standard.